You probably don't realise it, but every day billions of people all over the world are using Procter Gamble products. Maybe you wash your dishes with Fairy Liquid, clean your clothes with Ariel All in All, or perhaps you like to nibble on Pringles. Have you ever used Max Factor or worn a scent from Hugo Boss, Lacoste or Gucci? Do you shave using a Gillette razor? Years ago, were your first steps taken in Pampers nappies? Procter Gamble are the world's largest fast-moving consumer goods company, with over 300 brands being sold in 160 countries. Indeed, Procter Gamble invented the concept of the brand over 150 years ago. But what about the people behind the P&G brand? The people who drive the company forward with new ideas and innovations that make P&G brands the products of choice. P&G views diversity as a huge asset that generates fresh attitudes, different perspectives and exciting new ideas. P&G embraces diversity because the company believes it is the fair and right thing to do, and because we believe that diverse teams are more productive than homogeneous teams. By utilising a diverse workforce that interacts effectively, P&G believes employees learn from each other and, in doing so, deliver increasingly effective and innovative solutions and products. Quite simply, if you want to know how to effectively embrace diversity, Procter Gamble is ideally placed to deliver the business case for diversity.
Successful companies have to have three ingredients. Two of them are quite well known, and this is having superior strategies and superior brands. The third one is the one that is important for today, which is the concept of having superior organizations. Superior organizations in the long term are those that determine the success of the company. If you want to grow your company by 10% every year in profit, somehow you need to grow the talent of your organization by 10% every year. And this is where diversity plays such a big role. There are a few strategies you can apply on how to improve your organization. One is training and coaching, and the other one is the one of diversity. Diversity brings different talent into the organization and makes the organization richer, therefore. If organizations are not diverse, they tend to be stuck into their own convictions and into the old ways of doing things. New challenges require new skills, and diversity is a major way to bring new skills into the organization, skills that did not exist before, because people with a different style, a different point of view, a different background can see to the old problems in a different way and make the solutions better. In the management group that is leading UK and Ireland in P&G, today we have over 30 different nationalities. And maybe because I'm Italian, I kind of understand how different nationalities can bring different styles into doing the business. So an integration like the one of Gillette is for us a breakthrough in terms of our ability to get in touch with very talented, very successful people that have been working in a different category, in a different environment, and get to know each other and understand the best of both, and therefore bring a major boost in our diversity.
Recently, Procter Gamble chaired a roundtable discussion on the business case for diversity. A number of P&G member organisations took part in the discussion, which was aimed at clarifying the connection between diversity and business results.
My name is Madeline Brooks. I'm the UK Ireland HR Director here. We'll be having this discussion over the next hour or so, talking through various different aspects of the business case for diversity. The key focus areas, in fact, of our Procter Gamble Diversity Action Plan. So, to start us off, what's one of the most important things an employer can do to attract diverse talent into the organisations?
Every single student out there will have about 1 million different opportunities they can go and do. And the first thing we need to do is break through the clutter, so we generate a modicum of awareness of we're there and we're interested. Then as they have shown an interest, we then need to actually start closing and providing a little bit more of the information.
I think there needs to be evidence of an organisation's aspiration, and simple ways of giving evidence to students or to job seekers or to recruits is, for example, where you put yourself, where you put your brand. And when Stonewall launched its recruitment guide for lesbian and gay job seekers last year, the fact that Procter Gamble's in that guide and it goes to every university in the UK demonstrates that where that guide is, Procter Gamble also is.
P&G's policies, practices and habits are completely catering even for a gay man with a male partner. In that sense, I know that there is no discrimination in P&G whatsoever, which helps me be open and be myself and be very, very productive being myself.
What can age diversity bring to us as an organisation?
I think the most important thing to remember about age is, of course, that it's ability, not age, that really makes the difference. People of different ages have the most varied talents and skills. That vibrancy allows for innovation, it allows for creativity, and then you get fantastic outcomes.
One of the key things that we hear a lot about is the importance of networks, employee networks in our business to aid and support retention of our talent. Why are networks important, first of all, to employees in companies like P&G, and then also why are they important to our business?
There are real opportunities to address issues like parenting, caring, work-life balance as an inclusive group. And I think there's also tremendous scope for bringing people together by making people feel welcome to come to any of the networking meetings.
Networks, although very, very important, can actually have a negative impact if they do isolate those groups further. So I would think very, very carefully about making sure those networks are flexible, because you might have a disabled woman who's also bisexual. So you might have someone who wants to be in 3 different groups, and those groups need to cross over because our networks need to merge.
I think that was a really good point, because a number of people have asked me, should we be setting up an age network? And the answer has always been no. If you want to find out about age issues, ask the networks that you already have, because everybody has an age.
I'm very happy about the mentoring up program because first of all it came from management. They wanted to know what is the Asian background. They wanted to know how I behave and what are my cultural beliefs. So I'm really very happy and enlightened when I heard that.
Some great comments and some great points raised by everybody. How would you summarise in a couple of words what you see as the business case for diversity from your perspective?
Really, I would say that the business case for disability as part of that diversity is the same. We're looking at ability, we're looking at getting the right people into this organisation. Diverse teams are more innovative, they're more productive. Diverse teams bring a larger skill set to the organisation, so really there's no question about it. We just need the right people working here, and we need to be an employer of choice.
So I would say, looking at the demographics, what does the UK landscape look like? What, with the onset of globalisation, your customer base, what is that looking like? It seems sensible to have a workforce that reflects that, and with a view to penetrate new markets. You know, the assumption that we know that everything there is to know is obviously not true, and I think some insight from the widest talent pool will help you think about that.
I was the first blind person that Procter Gamble had ever recruited, and many of the email systems, the internet wasn't compatible with my talking software. So since I've joined, right up until now, we've been working together to making my software work with all of P&G systems.
Procter & Gamble clearly has a strong brand, and it has brands within that brand, but it's actually using your work on diversity to have actually an employee brand. You know, we hear lots about issues on litigation and bad press. Your work on diversity can actually impact that.
At P&G, most of our brands are market leaders, and what's really driven them to market leadership is innovation. We have product innovation and we have marketing innovation, and what drives innovation is great ideas. To have the very best ideas, we must have diverse teams.
Procter & Gamble doesn't just recruit people into positions, into jobs. We're actually recruiting people for long-term careers. So when we're recruiting, for example, managers into the company, we're looking at somebody who is going to become an associate director, or a vice president with the company long-term. We need people who are going to represent our consumer base, so people who are really in touch with the needs of consumers. And unless we have a much broader base of people in the company who understand consumers, clearly we're not going to succeed in the market.
For a business to be successful, it requires fresh ideas and people with new perspectives. People that are coming from a different context, from different sectors, with different experiences, so that they can bring a new way to deal with old problems. In P&G, we truly embrace and value diversity as a competitive advantage. We believe that the people in our organisation are our greatest assets. We do things through our employees, It is not through HR that we drive diversity. It is ingrained in the way that we do things at P&G. It truly is in our DNA.